Well, hey everybody, and welcome back to Geezer Golf with Tony. Today's video is going to be about the Garmin R50. Am I going to keep it or send it back? My time's about up. It's a tough decision. Am I going to keep it? I'm going to send it back. When I bought it, I was really looking forward to it. I guess I was naive and I had the wrong idea about simulators and or launch monitors. I just assumed it was going to be perfectly accurate and then I would be able to use it to improve my game and see what I was doing like other people, which I've never looked at my numbers or anything. And then as I get it and I find out this one didn't seem to be as accurate as I thought it would be, I ended up testing it against, I think, 3 other launch monitors, and each one of those gave me different readings. So what does that mean? I thought they were all perfectly accurate or very close, and I learned that they're not. So I had a decision to make. Now, what about the Garmin did I not like? I'm gonna talk about 2 or 3 things that I feel could be improved or aren't as accurate as I would like for them to be. So one, as I mentioned before, is my carry numbers are not even close to what I do out on the course. I was able to manipulate the conditions to kind of match those to get those close enough that they'd be acceptable. Also, it doesn't seem to measure the spin numbers as accurately as, well, let me rephrase that. The spin numbers that it measures do not stop the ball on the simulator the way it stops on the golf course. So I've had to learn a different game to play golf on the simulator. So that's another thing. I've had to manipulate the settings and learn to play short of the hole and hope it stops before it goes off the back of the green. In a lot of cases, if I'm hitting a sand wedge or a gap wedge, it stops pretty well. Also, it very severely punishes a mishit, more so than the golf course, more so than real life. If you hit one just a little heavy, I mean, you lose a third of your distance easily on here. And on the golf course, let's say I'm hitting a gap wedge to a green, I hit it just a little fat. It'll come down in the front fringe or something. Here, it comes down 20 yards short of the green. So I think that's not very accurate. Also, everybody knows that a draw with the same club hit the same way will go farther than a fade. Everybody knows that already. But what I've found on here, maybe it's the way they built their software to calculate this stuff. The draw or the hook on here is way magnified. It goes way too far. And the fade is under magnified. It goes way too short. This is where I'd need to hit a 160-yard shot and cut it around a tree, and I'd start out with my 6-iron, which normally goes 180, didn't come close. So then I'd move up to a 3-iron, didn't reach. I'd move up to a 5-wood, still didn't reach 180 yards. So those are things I have to recognize when I'm playing on the simulator and just accept those and work around them. So I also, when I got the R50, I wanted to try to use it to improve my game. So have I determined that I'm going to be able to do that? I think probably yes, because even though it isn't, in my opinion, accurately reading, let's say my spin or my carry, I can still see improvement from where it is reading it. But one of the reasons that I selected the R50 over some of the others was the club data. And as far as I can tell, the club data is pretty good. It measures, among other things, the path to target and face to path, which are 2 very important criteria to understand how you're striking the ball. It also measures club speed, of course, and angle of attack, which can be very important. So I'm very satisfied with those measurements. So the question comes down to, is it worth it to me when I play golf on there? Is it fun? Is it entertaining? Well, yeah, it kind of is, even though it's not as realistic as playing real golf. It's still fun and enjoyable. And I got it for wintertime and rainy days and maybe after dark, who knows. So it has done its job in that respect. So all in all these things being considered, and one other factor that was very important is that at a later date, if I so choose, I can get the equipment and start using the GS Pro software, which is a lot more realistic looking. And I'm told it uses its own software to calculate the flight of the ball and so forth. So maybe that will be different too. Maybe it'll be better. That's an option I have. So in light of all of that, I decided to keep it. So I'm going to keep it, and I'm sure there will be updates from Garmin also that will improve this. So anyway, that's my story. I've learned a lot about simulators that I didn't know. There's still tons I don't know, but it's here, it's paid for, I'm enjoying using it, so I will keep it. So what I'm going to do today as far as golf is, I noticed while I was looking at golf courses on there, I noticed a couple courses showing on there that have been closed for several years. One of them is the golf course that I first started playing golf on when I was a little kid. And I played there I started at 11, and up until I got my driver's license at about 17, I pretty much played this course all the time, almost all the time anyway. I would get, it was reasonably close to the house, and I could get my mother or one of my older sisters or somebody to run me by there, and without a lot of trouble. Once I got my driver's license, then I started driving to other places. But so from 11 till about 17, I wouldn't say exclusively, but I played most of my golf here at this course. And I haven't played it in probably 50 years. So it's going to be very interesting to go back and play my childhood course. So once you come along with me, and let's tee it up and play Lakeshore Golf Course in Durham, North Carolina.